أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum. There's some things I'd like to say about the body, about the way our body, nervous system functions, and how that relates to our practice of Islam in the modern world. My field is natural medicine, and in terms of healing people, that is making them whole, or enabling them to become whole and have an entire kind of integrated sense of the self, and for the body to function in a harmonious way with all of its parts in place. That's an integrity, that's a wholeness. I do what I can to counsel them and enable them to come to the place where they can experience that wholeness and integrity. And one of the things that I see in the modern times in which we live, that we've not fully understood the implications and the impact of modern life on our ability or inability for that to take place. The modern world has been dramatic in its change from what was our history from the time of the revelation and the guidance that our Prophet ﷺ gave us. It's unique in terms of what our history, even previous to that, was, in which we lived, our history in which we lived connected to each other in ways that we are not today, in which we were connected to the animals and the land in a way in which we are not today. And I know that the modern concept and the modern understanding of that is that, well, the technology we live with is neutral. And while it may be neutral on some level, that is in terms of morality and so forth, what we need to understand is how it is not neutral in terms of our own sense of self and lifestyle that's come about as a result from it. The automobile is an amazing machine. It's an amazing machine. It can take us very quickly, very long distance. But what we don't realize is that the way we were designed, our nervous systems that's designed at the base of our being, the unconscious part of our being that's concerned with survival, that drives the balance of our bodies, that controls the balance in our bodies, that brings thirst when we're thirsty and if we need water, that brings sleep, that brings wakefulness, that brings alertness, that brings us rest and activity, all of the things, the protection and defenses that enables us to respond to things that would be harmful to us. All of this that's designed into us, it's a very, very complex system that relates and affects all of the hormonal systems, all of the circulations, all of our senses, all of the function of being alive, and all of the organs and everything that takes place in this enormous, extraordinary event, which is the event of being alive, and by Allah's commands at every moment. So what we fail, I believe, to recognize is the implications of, for just a simple example I mentioned, of what it means to travel at 50, 60, 75, 85 high speeds in huge 1,000-pound machines with rubber wheels. We don't understand and we don't recognize fully that that affects our nervous system. The effect of this extraordinary speed means that on an unconscious level, our nervous system is always prepared. It's always ready for that possibility that with one wrong move of that steering wheel, one wrong move of that car in front of us that darts out, one wrong turn, that can mean that we are going to, as one friend of mine used to say, would be strawberry jam. You know, that is, we could have a terrible accident. We carry that with us at all times, and it's an unconscious kind of agenda and piece of information that affects the function of how we see, how we hear, what we feel about being alive is. We don't feel secure. Islam, on some level we can say, is the means, or it's the experience of feeling secure, of feeling safe. Ideally, we arrive at a sense of feeling safe by recognizing on some way that Allah holds us that Allah holds us closer than our mama ever did, that His commands by His angels, that they're carried out in every moment, that is what sustains this extraordinary balance in which we're able to stay alive. We don't die because of the cancer. We don't die, in fact, even because of the accident. We die because this extraordinary balance that Allah sustains at every moment goes so far in one direction or another direction that we cannot sustain life. Our blood either becomes too alkaline or too acid, etc., etc. So ideally we come to a point at which we realize and we recognize and we can begin to feel that we are held by Allah. And that security then can come even if we're in an automobile traveling at high speed, even if we're isolated somewhere and we don't have the family around us that makes us feel secure, even if we don't feel that we're part of a group that makes us feel secure. But this principle of feeling secure, for starters, enables us to naturally live a life in which we feel safe, in which the natural processes can take place. What I have seen through the years as I've practiced medicine is that so much of the illnesses that we suffer from come from an attitude inside. It comes from a sense of insecurity. It comes from emotions that we've not fully expressed and resolved. It comes from so much inside of us and condition of our nervous system. So this unnatural life that we've adopted and that we continue to promote, we must see how that impinges on our ability to be whole, natural, healthy human beings, so that the animal part of our being is intact. We are animals along with being human. We're human animals. And we have, as animals, all of the qualities that animals have designed for Allah to have. We're mammals as well. And so along with that, one of the aspects of that is that we have this extraordinary pattern of life that is ideal for us to live. And like any animal, when the pattern is broken, the illnesses come about. Aberrant behavior. We don't fit any longer. When we do not live as Allah designed us to live, we will not feel whole and complete. Just as the lion, when its pride is broken, it begins to behave in a way that doesn't behoove a lion. Same thing with us. So we have to recognize somehow, for our own health, that we should try to regain some of these things that are natural to us in our style of life, inshallah, as Muslims, and as recognize how important this is for our deen and for our spiritual realities, inshallah.